What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Touchdowns to Home Runs. My name is Bernie. Thank you for joining us today on the Touchdowns to Home Runs show. Hope that your day is going absolutely fantastic. We're within just a few minutes now from getting a final score from the AFC Championship game. The Kansas City Chiefs currently lead by a score of 38-21. So congratulations to you Kansas City Chiefs fans on making this year's Super Bowl and now playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady, who beat the Packers earlier today. But I mean, when you look at this game as a whole, this is a very impressive game because this is a very, very talented Buffalo Bills team who is going in a tremendous direction in the future. And I mean, not a good first quarter by any means. You have the muffed punt by Mecole Hardman. You lose the first quarter 9-0. But what a second quarter and what a remainder of the game and an absolute offensive clinic. Patrick Mahomes now, by the way, I just want to point out, has won 25 of the past 26 games that he has started. And he's showing why he got the big bucks in the offseason. This guy is extremely, extremely talented if you didn't already know. And we'll go at the box scores in just a second, but he played tremendously today. Obviously, Bills had that early break. Again, that muffed punt that led to a touchdown. But other than that, the Chiefs were perfect. They were a perfect 5 for 5 in the red zone, all with touchdowns. They absolutely destroyed a very talented Buffalo Bills secondary over the middle. Tyreek Hill, Hardman had some big, big runs. And again, the Bills had really no answer all game long for that speed. The Bills, in terms of their offense, moved the ball decently. I mean, Josh Allen wasn't horrific today, but the Bills were really bad in their part of the field, I thought, or in the Kansas City part of the field. Obviously, the really bad red zone interception by Josh Allen when it looked like the Bills were hanging on a threat to possibly come back in the game. But again, I thought they had some trouble getting Diggs going early. A lot of targets to him. He only caught like 50% of his passes. Overall, again, I've been saying this, I think the Chiefs are an extremely talented team when it comes to offense and their speed and what they can do, which they showed today. But I think a lot of their times, their defense gets overlooked, and they were also very solid defensively as well. You know, you take away the 7 points that weren't really the defense's fault, and this was just a tremendous 14-point defensive performance today. But again, just before we get into the box scores, the Buffalo Bills trending in a phenomenal direction. If you are a Buffalo Bills fan, this was a phenomenal season. 13-3 in the regular season, made it all the way to the AFC Championship game. You got to be happy with the direction that your team and Josh Allen is trending. Anyways, let's flip over to the box score. We'll start with the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes passed 29 for 38 at this time, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was fantastic. I thought the Kansas City offensive line was fantastic. They ran the ball, average of 5.8 yards per carry. They had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Darrell Williams was okay. He had 33 yards. Mecole Hardman had the big run, obviously. But in terms of receiving, this is where they really, really just absolutely annihilated the Bills secondary. Tyreek Hill had over 170 yards. He had a 71-yard run. He had 11 total targets, 9 receptions. Again, annihilated with the speed. Travis Kelce had, I think it was 8 receptions in the first half. He had 13 in total. Again, he was well into triple digits. This is a very, very, very deep Chiefs offense, and it's going to be really interesting to see them play the Buccaneers, who also have a very deep offense, led by Godwin over there and Tom Brady. So it should be really interesting. I'm curious to see what the Kansas City Chiefs can do in order to combat that, because the Packers did have a bit of trouble today. Let's flip over to the Buffalo Bills. Now, Josh Allen passed 28 for 48, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The 1 interception was a really, really bad one in the red zone. I thought that they started taking some shots deep in the second half, especially to Stefon Diggs. Josh Allen had him open, I think, 1 or 2 times, overthrew him both times. But again, I think just that's going to come with some more maturity, some more experience in the big games. But yeah, I think that, you hit one of those, obviously, this is a completely, completely different game. But the steps that Josh Allen has taken this year in comparison to where Josh Allen was last year is just tremendous. And I think, if you take away a 3-week span, in the middle of this season. He was right there in MVP talks, and the Buffalo Bills fans definitely have to be happy to have found their franchise quarterback. He also used his legs today, 7 carries, 88 yards, led the way for them on the ground. I mean, he's a big guy at a 6'5" frame, but I'll tell you what, he can do it all. He can pass the ball, can throw it deep, can also use his legs to avoid some of that pressure. Singletary only ran 6 carries, 17 yards, really couldn't get him going at all. And in terms of receiving, you had Beasley led the way, 7 receptions, 88 yards. Stefon Diggs got going a bit in the second half, but again, only caught 6 out of his 11 passes. He had 77 yards. Dawson Knox, who I think, could potentially break through next year, looks like a very talented pass catcher at the tight end position. TJ Yeldon had 4 catches. Brown, Singletary had 2 apiece, and Isaiah McKenzie had 1 reception. And again, Gabriel Davis held off the scorecard with 0 receptions for his second straight week. As for the Buffalo Bills, they just had no offense. I've been high praising Tre'Davious White, who took a really bad penalty on the goal line against Travis Kelce. A really talented secondary, though, just couldn't get the job done today. But, you read some of the names on the defense, and, Micah Hyde, obviously Tre'Davious White. They got so much talent, but I think that the more experience that they get, especially in the playoffs, I think the better that this team is going to be. Let's take a look at the team stats really quickly. In terms of third down, the Bills weren't awful. They were 5 for 14, but the Chiefs did everything right. They were 5 for 8 on third down. They converted their 1 fourth down play that they did end up going for. The Bills outran the Chiefs. Neither team really took penalties. Both teams had a turnover. I mean, when you look at it in the team stats, it's a very even game. And again, I think it just came to the Bills, being able to put up points when they had opportunities. Because, again, they were driving at some points in this game, but they just weren't able to actually put points up on the board. Let's take a look at the NFC Championship and a little bit of a Super Bowl preview. So, as I mentioned before, since the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did take down the Green Bay Packers by a score of 31-26, they will be facing the Kansas City Chiefs. Actually, in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay will have home field advantage, or the closest thing to it, I guess, in this COVID year. But they will be playing the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. And Tom Brady was not very good today. He passed 20 for 36 through 3 interceptions, had trouble running the ball, but their defense was pretty good, I thought, especially late. Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay had a lot of opportunities to take the lead in that fourth quarter, but the Tampa Bay defense shut them down. And obviously, we don't have to talk about how talented this offense is. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Gronkowski, Fournette, Scotty Miller. I mean, this is, you look at the Chiefs being a deep team offensively, Tampa Bay is almost just as talented offensively, and this should make for a very, very interesting Super Bowl. But anyways, guys, if you did make it to this point in the video, let me know your thoughts on this game, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills, but also on the Super Bowl. I want to hear it down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to Touchdowns to Home Runs for more content just like this. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.